Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link and my official Instagram, both listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. If you're here as a cross-watcher, welcome. If you're here and you're unsure of what a twin flame journey is, I've included a link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length explanation of the twin flame journey in the description box below for your reference. Spirit has asked me to kind of launch into the readings because if you're twin flame, then you know why you're here. All I will say is that I am a twin flame. I was in separation from my twin for 7 years, no contact for 5. Some of the most difficult years of my entire life. I am now in union with my twin. And I do these readings to support twins everywhere in navigating their own journey. So I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy will be from the Healing Heart Oracle deck, and a deck that I don't use very often on my channel, the Mirror Visions deck by James Eads. This deck is what they call lenticular, so it's kind of holographic. It has 2 images on the same card, and I just felt like it was a perfect deck to use because the energy I'm feeling in the twin flame collective is very fluctuating, kind of teetering back and forth between dynamics. So that's why I wanted to use this deck today. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and their twin flame connection. Angels, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for the twins, please? Thank you. Yeah, number 32, which corresponds to a 5. The Hierophant card of the major arcana of the tarot. That's Taurus energy. And it's longing heart. Value what you have and more will appear. Longing heart. Value what you have and more will appear. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. So number 5, the Hierophant being referenced here, is a card that talks about this sense of connecting with the space within us that holds our values and our standards. It talks about codes of conduct and rules and regulations, and it's kind of like the rules that we impose upon ourselves, some that have been imposed upon us, of course, but the ones that we live by, how we conduct ourselves, our behavior, how we coexist with others. The Hierophant also can represent that on a more spiritual level, and it can represent an actual person that has a connection between the earthly realm and the spiritual realm. So the Hierophant was also known as the Pope of the Tarot. Sometimes this card can represent marriage, a higher level connection. But it's a 5, and if you've ever watched me, or if you're new to my channel, thank you for being here. If you've watched me talk about 5s, I can't stand getting a 5 in the tarot because it's difficult, right? It's all about challenge. And we all have to work through the 5 energies in the tarot. We all have to work. That challenge is how we grow. And so there's this growing pains in your connection right now. And you could have been in this connection for years and years and years. But there's something in the taking the temperature, the pulse of the connection right now feels difficult. It almost feels like you might have forgotten about them for a while. You might have put your twin on the back burner. I don't have time to deal with the twin flame connection today. I'm just going to focus on myself. But for some reason, this period of time, at the time that you're watching this reading, these readings are timeless, so it could be 10 years from when I post it, but the time that you're watching this, you could just be missing them badly. And it sucks, and I understand that. And you know, I always say that it is very difficult to be a twin flame. It's not like longing for a soulmate, because we have a lot of soulmates. The friends can be soulmates. We have a lot of soulmates out there, and yes, it's difficult when it's a romantic connection. The longing for a twin flame, it's almost like longing for you. It's like, imagine longing for you. That's precisely what it is. Because your twin is your exact mirror, energetic mirror. They hold up the mirror to who you are. And they're asking you to look at yourself and heal the parts of yourself that you haven't perhaps been brave enough to look at. And so you look in that mirror and you say, where am I? That's difficult. I understand. But when you actually do the work and you stare at yourself, your reflection, and you start to heal and you talk to yourself and you reparent yourself in some circumstances, and you start to recognize how beautiful you are, how talented, how gifted, how divine. That kind of growth, there is no dollar amount, no amount of anything that can replace it. And when you do that, that's when you start to make your way back to your twin. I'm going to get some cards on the table. First card will be your energy. The second will be your twins. The third will be the connection. And the fourth will be advice from spirit. I just want to point out your twins card just flew out of the deck and onto the floor. Okay. Because these cards are lenticular and holographic and contain another card within the same card, I will not pull any additional clarifiers unless called to do so. One more. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, how beautiful. Okay, beautiful energies here. Difficult but beautiful. Your energy, number 2 of the major arcana. Pisces, represented in this card, with the High Priestess, and its counterpart in the card is the Swan. The High Priestess and the Swan. So very dramatic effects happening here. Feels like one is in night and one is in day. So let's look at the High Priestess first. Can you see the crescent moon in the background? And on the ground here, sorry, I'm just trying to get the balance here. Those represent the pomegranates, right? Kind of the seeds of creation. The high priestess sits at the veil between this world and the spiritual world, the beyond the veil. It's a divine feminine energy. Just remember, we all have divine feminine, divine masculine within us. Anyone can be in the high priestess energy. Very psychic, tremendously intuitive, observant, sees all, says nothing, classically mute. And there's a reason, right? The high priestess carries secrets. Sometimes it's like secrets to herself, like she doesn't even realize that she has the secrets. It's very funny. I don't know if I scraped my tongue on something or I burned. Oh, I know. I made roasted potatoes today and I couldn't wait and I ate one and I think I burned my tongue. For some reason, I've done 2 readings already. For some reason, right now in this moment, Spirit is drawing my attention to the pain that I feel on my burnt tongue. And it speaks to the secrets, right? Like being entrusted with secrets and being entrusted not to reveal them. No slips of the tongue, right? So when we're in our high priestess energy, which is what Spirit is showing me you are in right now, all the antennas within you, the sonar, the radar, the whatever, the frequencies, whatever, totally is tuned in, laser focused, intuition on point, intuition at a 10, on maximum. You know and can feel what your twin is feeling. The telepathy is very strong with you. You see this? You see the swan? You see the mirroring here? That's you and your twin. That Spirit just showed me that. That's you and your twin. Right now they're in the waters, right? And it seems like they're not tangible, like you can't hold them because they're in the emotional, psychic channels, the watery depths. But you can perceive them and they mirror you. It's almost like these seeds here. It's almost like you've dropped these seeds like breadcrumbs. So you could, I mean, I hope you're not breadcrumbing your twin because that's not very nice. But energetically, you could be breadcrumbing them, leaving little clues for them to discover, perhaps in the psychic realms, the astral realms. Thank you, Spirit, in astral realms. Are you astral projecting to your twin? Have you figured that out? And Spirit's just going like this. Have you figured out how to astral project to your twin, but you're keeping that under wraps? It's not nefarious, and you do what you want to do. I mean, we don't want to astral project onto like private things, but at the same time, I astral projected a lot when I was in separation from my twin. The astral projection between both of us was very intense. Now that I'm in union with him, he doesn't really remember, but I remember all of it. How he would come to visit me and I would go to visit him. I couldn't really control it. It's a little scary to astral project, at least for me, because you're leaving you're leaving your body. And it can be a little scary, but illuminating. And when twins meet, when you both astral project and you meet each other in the astral realms, I don't know if you've ever heard about what it's like for twins to meet in that space while maintaining a PG rating. I'm just gonna say things get hot and heavy in that space. So I would encourage it for you, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. Spirit's not telling me that. I'm just saying that. Okay? It's kind of amazing. But I feel as though if you're astral projecting and you have that ability, you have not told your twin, maybe because you're not speaking to them, but you can glimpse into their world, and maybe you're leaving little breadcrumbs, little clues as to how you're doing, what you're doing, that you miss them. I don't know. But it feels relevant. Your twin's energy could be complicated for you. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Trees, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Trees. I can't help but see this kind of nuclear family here. I don't know if your twin is married or in a high-level commitment, because I do read this as kind of a portal. This tree and this tree kind of, I read this as a canopy. You could be married, your twin could be married. Ten of Pentacles is, they're in a good spot. They're in a good spot. They're happy. And look, some people don't necessarily want to be with their twin flames, right? It's just not something that they want. You can be perfectly happy with a soulmate. You do not need to be with your twin flame. However, you cannot cut the cords with your twin. Your twin will still trigger you. And thank you, Spirit, and as somebody who is in union with their twin right now, that does not go away. It does not go away. Your twin always holds up a mirror to you. So if there's a scenario where you or your twin are connected to other people, it still serves a purpose in your life, this connection. And that purpose is for you to discover what your spiritual gifts are, which I dare say you have discovered as the High Priestess here. And to not just discover them, but to use them for good. Using your powers for good. Using your powers not only to up-level your own life, but to really add light to the world. That's why twins are here. That's the real purpose of twin flames, is to raise the vibration of humanity. You have a divine purpose, and so does your twin. And whether or not you are in union or in separation, that fact remains true. Because the kind of strength that a person has to be a twin flame, it's indescribable. It's indescribable. And it's not to put twin flames on a pedestal, right? I would never, ever, 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 ever wish the twin flame journey on somebody. I would never do that, no matter how beautiful and satisfying it has been in hindsight. I would never want anybody to go through like what I went through in my separation, ever. But Spirit has graciously rewarded me with so much love and blessings and insight into allowing me to see my worth as a spirit in the universe and to see my divinity. And so ultimately, that's what they want. Your spirit guides and spirit wants for you and your twin. And you helping each other telepathically, energetically. It doesn't take away this longing, though, unfortunately. The longing, even when you're with your twin, the longing is still there. It's very weird. It's very strange. But they're in a good place right now. And I challenge you, please be happy for them. Be happy when your twin is doing well. And allow them to be happy for you when you're doing well. And you can be doing well concurrently. Right? But I see here for the connection, for whomever I'm speaking to, yeah, this could be something you could have walked away from your twin. I could be speaking to a runner chaser dynamic in a twin flame connection. I could be speaking to a runner because I see the 8 of cups, the 8 of chalices, and the 8 of lotuses. So here's the 8 of chalices. See this character? Kind of like fading into the background, but Spirit just gave me a song by Mazzy Star, I'm not sure how you say it. That band Mazzy Star. Fade into you. Fade. I don't know all the words to that song. I've heard it many times, but I don't know all the words. I highly encourage you to listen to that song. There's a message in that song, Fade Into You by Mazzy Star. This connection, the twin flame connection, is as old as the ancients. This is what it's saying when I see the whale. It is ancient, it is cosmic, it is beyond time and space, it is beyond this dimension, and it's so beautiful. And this energy just shows me that you and your twin, it's almost like you're not necessarily walking towards each other, but you're walking towards spirit. And in that space, you're walking towards each other, right? If we're in the 3D as our avatar selves, our bodies, our meat suits, which I hate that expression, but that's what we are. And your souls are in the 5D. You and your twin are already united. You're a one in the 5D. Yes, you have your souls that speak to you, but you have an oversoul. And it's almost like I see both of you, because this is the connection, turning towards the oversoul to guide you. It's really beautiful, but it's not necessarily what the stories would want you to hear about what a twin flame journey is. You're turning towards the oversoul, but not necessarily towards each other at this time. And Spirit's advice, number 21 of the Major Arcana, the World card, and life on Earth. So this is where you guys are right now. But Spirit is showing me eventually there will be a reckoning, there will be a reconciliation, which doesn't mean you'll be together with your twin in that sense, like married or whatever. They're just showing me a reconciliation, this understanding that when we close out chapters, when we learn our lessons, that's when the true connection, life on earth can begin. That you can come together and come to a space of understanding with your human counterpart. It can't get any clearer than that. It's almost like the oversoul of your twin flame connection is here, and they are going to witness this on earth. So you could see it as something to look forward to, something to aim for. This is advice from Spirit. Close out this chapter to begin a new one. Allow your intuition to lead you right now. Fire signs. Consult your intuition, your gut, your solar plexus. It will never lead you astray. Be happy for your twin. Recognize that you're already divinely connected in the 5D, but focus on your pursuits here. You can acknowledge my throat chakra is closing. This is hard. It's a hard message to deliver, and it's a hard message to hear, and it's a hard message to speak about, because the longing is still here. For me, the only advice that I can give when I was in, and sometimes am in, those moments of longing is to turn back towards myself. Remember, like, don't lose sight of who you are. When you start to lose yourself, that's when everything goes downhill. Ground, you always hear people talking about connecting to the earth. It's really important for twin flames to sit on the grass, to touch the trees, to speak to the animals. It is really important to connect with nature. Because think about when you connect with nature and you connect with the earth is so much bigger than you or your twin. So much bigger. Allow the earth to take on some of that burden of longing. You'll feel better. That's your reading, fire signs. Not an easy reading, but one that Spirit wanted me to bring to you today. Always with love and compassion and hope for your peaceful heart. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe down below. Please okay, Spirit doesn't want me to end the reading yet. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more card. I've never done this before. I've never not ended the reading. Okay. 9 of Wands, 9 of Embers. I'm gonna tell you right now. Look at what this character is doing. You see this character? You see it? He's got the walking stick, the wand in his hand. See him touching trees? In the woods, touching trees, connecting with nature, turning into nature. He is a flower. 9 of Embers. This volcano. Nine of Wands usually talks about the wounded warrior living to fight another day. You can get through this, okay? But you have to be careful, especially as a fire sign. Here it is. You have to take care of yourself. Sometimes this can drive us to madness. You have to take care of yourself before things bubble over. You don't want that, especially when it comes to your twin. Like if it means that you're going to confront them and fight them and stop. Time out. You have a choice. This is what Spirit didn't want me to end the reading. Take that as a confirmation. I was talking about grounding. This, you could not get any clearer than this. Thank you, Spirit. You have a choice between two. Things can go like this or things can go like this. It's up to you. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.